What is going on, everybody? It is Big L here, and today we have our Week 8 battle of the PWO. And I honestly want to take, before we get into things, first, let me turn this music down in my ears. It's very loud. It's a banger, but it's very loud. But first, I want to apologize for the battle analysis, or lack thereof, at the beginning of my last video. Like I said in the video, I tried to record that. That was like my fifth time trying to record that, and every time it was user error. It was nothing going on with my computer or with OBS or anything like that. It was 100% my fault every single time. I was just frustrated, and I needed to get the video out. The video was already going out late. I recorded it the same day that I put it up, and I know that I don't exactly make the super high quality content. You know, I'm not exactly, Joey or A Drive or Wolf out here making super high quality Pokemon content, but I like to think that I make content that I would watch, and I wouldn't watch that last video. And so, to anyone who watched it, I just want to apologize. That's not okay. And to Mr. Z, dude, seriously, I apologize for the video of your battle with me that being that bad, and I just want to apologize. That's not okay. So, with that out of the way, first, I want to get into this is our Week 8 battle. We are playing Coach KingLollipop and his federal government. That's right, guys, we're playing the feds. We can't lose to the feds, can we? Anyway, he's got a scary team. His types are Dragon and Fire. His team consists of Dragapult, Roaring Moon, Moltres, Duraludon, Volcanion, Appleton, Delphox, Magmar, Chi-Yu, Mega Ampharos, and the Dracovish. So he's got a very, very scary team. So the first thing I noticed at Team Preview was he only has 2 flying resists on the whole team. I don't think either of them look particularly strong against me. Duraludon looked pretty decent whenever I got into the calcs, so I thought it could maybe come, but looking at the team in front of me, he didn't bring anything I wasn't expecting. He brought the Dragapult, Roaring Moon, Moltres, Volcanion, Chi-Yu, and Dracovish. We brought Seismitoad, Grimmsnarl, Doxbun, Togekiss, Altaria, and Nidoqueen. So, first thing I thought whenever I looked at the team was Roaring Moon is a problem. That thing is an absolute demon. I hate that Pokemon, not because of its design or anything. I just hate how good it is. Moltres, we have to play a good bulky flyer 3 weeks in a row. Spoiler alert, we have to play Celesteela next week. And bulky flyers are a problem for our team, so we had to really prepare for that thing. Unfortunately, the only thing we really have for it is Nidoqueen Thunderbolt. But we had to play Walking Wake last week, which was one of the kill leaders, and this week we have to play the other one of the kill leaders, and that is Dracovish. Lollipop has been playing Dracovish like a demon. So I decided this week, what I thought would be a good lead would be Nidoqueen. I thought Nidoqueen would be a pretty good lead for me. The only thing that would be a bad lead would be if he led the Volcanion, which of course, as you can see on the screen in front of you, that is what he decided to lead. So I have a lot to think about here. I'm not an offensive Nidoqueen. I'm more of a bulky set. Offensive Nidoqueen has a chance to kill here. So I think, you know what, there's a chance he could switch out here, fearing the Earth Power killing him. I did think maybe AV. The sets on Volcanion that I prepped really hard for were Scarf, Specs, AV, and Shuka. So I was like, if he is Scarf, I'm just dead. If he's 3 of those, I'm just dead. But if he's 2 of them, if he's 3 of them, yeah, 2 of those 3, I'm alive. I get to get a big chunk of damage off. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and click Earth Power. If he switches into the Moltres, that's the only way he's not taking a pretty good amount of damage on something. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and click the Earth Power. And we go ahead, we get it off, we're faster. We don't get the kill. And he just goes for the Steam Eruption and knocks us out. that was kind of a bummer because, like I said, Nidoqueen was the only way we had on this whole team to hit the Moltres for super effective damage. But we've got ways to play around it, and I'm not super concerned about it because it can't really do a whole lot of damage to us. So I just decided I'm gonna go ahead and go out into the Togekiss here. This is a Scarf Togekiss. Like I said, flying spam is really good against his team, and even things that we don't kill or even 2-hit KO, we have Flinch Kiss. So I just go ahead, I go for the Air Slash here, we get the KO. So Togekiss, that's your first KO of the season. Good job, we love it. This is my first time bringing it offensive, so he goes out into the Chi-Yu here. I think a little bit about what I want to do. I think maybe go ahead and stay and go for the Air Slash. But I decided, you know what? No, never mind. I'm going to go ahead and go out into Darkspun. This thing is why Darkspun is here. You know, we resist Dark Pulse. We are immune to things like Flamethrower, Overheat. So, this is why Darkspun is here, as he goes for the Nasty Plot, which is a really ballsy move on his part, in my opinion. I hadn't revealed that I was Scarfed. So I thought for sure he was going to go for like a Flamethrower or something here. It's a really good play on his part. But I know if any hit he wants to go for here. I just decided to go ahead and go for the Stomping Tantrum. I want to see what he goes for. He goes for the Dark Pulse, and he does 70%. That pulled me immediately. This thing is... I don't have... This thing is not a check for Chi-Yu. Chi-Yu is crazy. Chi-Yu is really strong. I go for the Stomping Tantrum. I get 50% off, which is fine. It's about what I was expecting. I was expecting it to be a 2-hit KO. I wasn't expecting it to kill. But I was hoping I would take a Dark Pulse a little bit better than that. But I have no choice here. I have to just stay in. Hope maybe he throws. He goes for the Dark Pulse. He just knocks us out. Sorry, Darkspun. Fun fact, that is the only Pokemon on our team after Togekiss got that first kill. Only Pokemon on our team that doesn't have a kill yet. We're going to try to get you that kill, Darkspun. I try to get a Pokemon on... I try to get every Pokemon on my team at least one kill. That's kind of something I like to try to do. So here I think about it. I'm like, you know what? I'm looking at what I've got. Darkspun's down. I'm thinking about my options. I can go out, maybe I can go out into Grimmsnarl. I'll get my light screen up. Only way he can kill me, and then he doesn't kill me. And if he goes for Overheat, he loses his +2. Maybe I go out into Seismitoad. But I'm looking at what I've got left, and I'm thinking, you know, the only thing on my team, like the most expendable member of my team that could potentially live a hit right now is the Altaria. And so I go ahead and go out into Altaria, and the way I look at this play is the only way he kills me is if he does have the Overheat, and even then it's a roll. If he's modest, it's a roll that's very much in his favor, but if he's timid, it's a roll that's heavily in my favor. So I'm like, you know what? If I go into Altaria, that's the most expendable member. Worst case scenario, he goes for Overheat, he gets the roll, but then he's -2, and then he's a much easier to deal with. But I go ahead and go on Altaria. I'm like, you know what? And if I live the hit, I'm gonna go ahead and go for a Dragon Dance. That way, the next turn I can outspeed maybe anything that wants to come in. I can either get, like, if he wants to go into like Moltres, I can get the Boost off, or I can go ahead and, if he stays in the Chi-Yu, I can get a Roost off, or I can go ahead and just knock it out with my Body Slam. So I go ahead, I Mega Evolve, and he misses the Overheat. That's really bad for him. And we find out after the battle that this was modest. So that was a roll very heavily in his favor to knock us out. So we got a little bit we got a little bit lucky there. So that was a little bit unfortunate on Lollipop's part. So we go ahead and go for the Dragon Dance. I'm not going to get greedy. I go ahead and go for the Body Slam, and we get the KO on the Chi-Yu. And he goes out into Moltres, and here I make a little bit of a misplay. I know that there's nothing I can go for that really kills here. It really does too much to him. And last minute, I decided to change Seismitoad. He doesn't have Liquidation. Because I was just like, you know, I was looking at the moves, and I had Knockoff, Earthquake, I don't remember the last couple moves I had, but like I said, it's been like a week since we played. I don't remember the entire set, but I know that I didn't have liquidation. I took liquidation off for Drain Punch because I wanted a way to hit the Roaring Moon. Because I was like, oh well, I've got other things to hit fire types. If he brings the Moltres, that's the only thing that this is for. So looking back, I should have just gone for another Dragon Dance here instead of going for Body Slam. But at the time, I was thinking, oh, if I go for Body Slam, I can maybe get a para. It'd be really, really good. But I go ahead and go for the Body Slam. We get a crit. We do 53%, and that tells me that this thing is pretty defensive. My watch is telling me I've been walking with that. But he goes for the Toxic. So yeah, again, I really should have just gone for another Dragon Dance there. But it is what it is. We get Toxic. And again, another play here. I should have just gone for Dragon Dance. Instead, I go for another Body Slam. Again, I think I'm fishing for a para. I'm pretty sure, like, at the time, that was my mindset, was fishing for a para. You know, if I go for a Body Slam here, get the para, he gets fully paralyzed, I just kill the next turn, and then boom, I got a +1 Altaria. I can maybe just sweep his team. But he goes for the Roost, and we played this out a little bit here, and I think I go for a Dragon Dance here. Yeah, I go for the Dragon Dance here, about 2 turns too late. And now I'm doing about what he's doing to me. I go for the Body Slam. We get 48% off. He goes for the Roost. And I think about going for my own Roost, but by this point, the Toxic is starting to rack up pretty heavily. So I decide I think he's going to just go for another Roost here. So I go ahead and I switch out into the Togekiss. And he goes for the Air Slash. That's kind of a bummer because I want this to be healthy. I want this to be able to potentially live any hits. In case it needs to later in the game. So, because like I said, I thought he was going to Roost here. And I thought maybe saving Altaria as a sack would be really, really useful later. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and just go for the Air Slash. We're going to try to flinch this thing to death. That's what I think to myself. And we get 1 flinch. We get 2 flinches. What? 3 flinches. What? And that is all we need. If you're not a wrestling fan, I apologize for the Stone Cold reference. So here, he goes out into Roaring Moon. He goes out into the demon himself. This thing terrifies me. I assumed he would be Photosynthesis, Booster Energy, Speed, because he would have to be Speed to outspeed Iron Valiant. If he's not fast enough to outspeed Iron Valiant, then Iron Valiant is free to just come in and just revenge this thing after it comes in. So I switch out here into Grimmsnarl. I go into Altaria, sorry. This is me sacking Altaria. Here, he can't risk not attacking. He goes to the Iron Head. The set I fully expected this thing to be was Dragon Dance, Roost, Iron Head, Earthquake. Those were the 4 moves I was 100% expecting on this thing. So yeah, I go into Altaria, I sack it, and here I go into the Grimmsnarl. Now my plan is 100%. I got to get a Reflect up. I go for the Reflect as he goes for the Iron Head. I was expecting this at the time to do way more damage than it did. I was expecting this to do like 70%, but it's a calc thing on damage calc. It had automatically had it set to attack for his Photosynthesis. So here I'm thinking, okay, instead of just okay, Grimmsnarl, you're gonna get Reflect up and then just die. Now I'm thinking, hey, I get Reflect up and you maybe have a roll. I can maybe get a Spirit Break off here, and that'd be huge. But he gets the roll, and we go down to Iron Head. Here I go on to Seismitoad. This is a very, very physical, Fizdef Seismitoad. Based on the damage that did to Grimmsnarl, I know I can live this comfortably through a Reflect. And like I said, I have Drain Punch. He does very little to us. We do Drain Punch. And unfortunately, it's not a 2-hit KO, but we are out healing the damage he's doing with Dragon Claw. As he makes a good play here and goes for Dragon Dance, I was hoping maybe I got the low roll the first time and I would get a high roll this time. Unfortunately, that's not the case. We get a little bit higher roll, but not high enough to make any difference. He goes for the Dragon Claw. We go for the Drain Punch and get it knocked out. This thing, the demon is done. If Roaring Moon only gets 1 kill against me, I am extremely happy. So we get a little bit of health back, and our Seismitoad's still pretty good shape. We are at a 2-1-2. He goes ahead and goes out into the Dragapult. I know that unless this thing is specs, I live any hit it wants to go for. and I've got knockoff. So he goes for the Shadow Ball. He does a decent little chunk to us. We go for the knockoff. We get a crit and almost knock him out. And we reveal that he is Choice Scarf. So really, really good. In case, for the Togekiss matchup, because Togekiss outspeeds everything on his team except for Scarf Dragapult, and the +1 booster energy on Roaring Moon. So here, I just decided I'm going to go ahead and just go for another knockoff, as he drops a Draco, which was kind of a bummer. I was really hoping to get, if Seismitoad lives against Dragapult, then when Dracovish comes in, it can't go for Fish's Friend, because if it goes for Fish's Friend, we just, obviously, we're water absorbed. So, which is fine, but that means we can go to Togekiss. I know we outspeed this because we are Scarf, and the only thing he has left are Dragons. We can just lock in a Dazzling Gleam. We don't have to risk misses. We don't have to risk misses with Air Slash. It's really, really huge. We go for the Dazzling Gleam. We pick off the Dragapult, and he goes out into the Dracovish, which the Reflect going out that turn could potentially be big. This thing, if it goes for Vicious Rend or Ice Fang or even Iron Head, I think maybe has a role, but I think Ice Fang is better with Strong Jaw. He's got rolls to kill, but we also have a roll to kill with our own Dazzling Gleam. So we are meant to outspeed a Scarf Jolly Dracovish, so I know we outspeed. And so we go for the Dazzling Gleam, and we don't get the kill. This was a roll. It wasn't his favor, but it was a roll. So now, depending on what move he goes for, he has rolls to kill us. And he goes for Fish's Friend, and we live on 6%. And that is GG to Lollipop. We get a nice bounce back win against another coach who is solidly on track to make playoffs. That takes us to 6-2 on the season, and boy, that was a tough one. Really, really fun game. It was kind of a game of sacks back and forth, especially early. And I really liked the prep this week. It was a really, really nice bounce back week. We really needed this after just getting ourselves stomped last week. But this was a really, really good one. We needed this game, and GG's to Lollipop, and we do not lose to the federal government. The feds, you don't have us. We stand up to the feds. But we will be back in just 1 second with the interview. See you in a second. What is going on, everybody? It is Big L here, and we are just after the battle here with KingLollipop, and so how do you think how'd your prep go this week?
It went pretty good. I thought you brought a little bit. You brought the Dash Pun. I didn't know if that was coming. Togekiss, I expected if it did come, it was going to be Scarfed, and that was correct.
Yeah.
But I didn't really have any counterplay around that, and kind of I shouldn't have brought Dracovish, but he's the top kill leader, so you got to maybe bring him in there.
Oh yeah, like I would have been shocked if you didn't bring Dracovish. I mean my team's half my team's ground, so
yeah, yep. So that was the big thing. I had to bring the Dracovish, try to get him a couple extra kills, but it doesn't always work that way.
See, I thought you were spoiled for choice this week. I thought you had a lot of good options. Like I thought maybe Duraludon might come. It was one of those Pokemon that, like, whenever I first looked at your Mons, I was like, there's no way that thing comes. And I started, like, doing calcs with it, because, like, just in case. And I was like, the low key, this thing looks pretty good into me. Like, what the hell? And I was half expecting it, but yeah, everything else, like, but like I said, I thought you were spoiled for choice. Like, nothing, like, pretty much brought a lot of Mons I expected. Like, I prepped a lot for every single one of these.
Okay.
I hate Roaring Moon as a Pokemon. The thing is so broken. It didn't hit as hard.
It's pretty good.
It didn't hit as hard as I thought it was going to.
No, I ran Speed Booster just in case you brought Val. So I had to lower its attack to it's like 220 or something, just to get that speed booster.
Even lowering it, because damage calc. Because I did a calc after I saw how little that did to Grimmsnarl, I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't seem even possible. Because according to mine, you should have done like at least like 70%,
70.
like 220 jolly.
Do you have the booster attack on? It
No,
autofills
it's
booster attack.
uh, but it should whenever you change it, it should automatically change.
Oh, when you yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, oh no, there it's okay. Now it's changed. Okay,
Now
I
it's
don't.
changed.
Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't changed earlier. So okay, I guess I'm crazy. Okay. Because I was like, whoa, this should be doing way more than that. I was like, I was like, this might be a roll to me actually get a spirit break off. What the hell?
Yeah.
Um, but I thought the game was over when Roaring Moon got a dragon dance off. I thought that was it.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like,
I should
well,
have. I was too scared of Valiant, so I had to run
yeah,
the booster speed. Valiant cooks my team outside of Moltres.
yeah, Moltres. I haven't looked at who I play next week, but I'm gonna be so happy to be done with bulky ass flyers. The last 3 weeks has been Corviknight, Skarmory, Moltres. I'm so sick. My team does not hit bulky flyers at all.
No.
And I'm so sick of seeing them. Like 3 of the best bulky flyers in the game.
Yep.
Oh,
That's why I picked him like third round. I think it was my third pick. I
oh,
had to scoop
Moltres
him
is
up.
good. I know T4U was looking at it in the draft
Yep.
because
Yep. I got.
he loves that damn thing. But yeah, everything else like yeah, Dracovish had to over prepare for that thing. I was a little surprised looking at your Roaring Moon. I'm surprised you actually brought Dragon Stab on the Roaring Moon. I thought you just bring Ironhead, Earthquake, Roost with Dragon Dance.
Yeah, I should have just brought Outrage if I was gonna try and hit something outside of the fairy type. I don't know why I brought Dragon Claw.
Yeah, I thought it'd be just Ironhead, Outrage, Roost. I mean, Ironhead, Earthquake, Roost, Dragon
Earthquake.
Dance.
Yeah.
That's what I thought you'd bring. Oh, that was what I
That,
was.
yeah, that probably would have worked too. I didn't really predict I didn't think I was gonna get him in on. I figured you're max defense Seismitoad, so I didn't think he was gonna get defensed up. But I was surprised when he only did 48.
Yeah,
Because if you're at any attack at all, you 2-hit KO me.
I have 40 attack investment.
Yeah.
That's it. Because like I think I'm enough defense to live like 2 Psychic Fangs from Modest Dracovish. I think from Adamant
Okay.
Dracovish, not Modest. From Adamant Dracovish.
Yeah. Yep.
And that Spadef is there for something. What is that Spadef there for? I don't remember. Maybe it's like a Dark Pulse from Chi-Yu or something. Maybe I don't remember what that's there for. But there's like 44 Spadef there for something. And I
Yeah,
was like, well, I
yeah.
don't really have anything else to put anything, so I guess I'm just going to attack. And I went back and forth on the 4th move for Seismitoad because I almost didn't go with Drain. I almost had Liquidation there. But I was like, well,
Oh, okay.
the only thing Liquidation would be there to hit is the Moltres. Like
Yep.
everything else, like all of his other fire types, I hit with Earthquake. I hit with Stab Earthquake. So I was like, it was either Drain Punch to hit, like it was to hit Roaring Moon, to hit the Chi-Yu, to hit the Duraludon if I needed to. And for a little recovery, that's like the one thing Seismitoad is missing from being like really good in my opinion is having recovery.
Yep.
And I was like, it's gonna be recovery. So like, I'm really glad I went with Drain Punch.
Yeah, no, that worked out for you. Kept you low. It kept you out of Shadow Ball range.
Yeah, and then yeah, Scarf Pult. I wasn't sure if you'd bring Scarf Pult or not. I thought maybe you'd bring, if you're gonna bring Choice, I thought you might bring Specs.
Specs, yeah. No, I had to have some speed control. I had Roaring Moon, but that's only one-time speed control.
Right.
Where Dragapult would be speed control. The whole battle.
Right, and then seeing how much. Oh, wrong button. Seeing how much +2 Dark Pulse did to Doxbomb was like, oh, this thing is not a cheat at all.
Yeah, I ran that calc too, and if you with your 40 HP, you get O-code by overheat. So that was an unfortunate miss, but it's Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean, you're Modest. Yeah, that definitely kills.
Yeah, Modest.
Yeah, that definitely kills then.
I had like 810 special attack.
Yeah, but I was like, it was one of those things where like, yeah, if he has overheat, then he's got it, and if he's not Modest, it's still a roll.
Mm-hmm.
But if he does have it and he goes for it, like at least I lost his +2. Because I was like, Altaria I was like, I have to get around this Chi Yu, and Altaria is the only thing is well, not the only thing. It makes you click overheat.
Yep.
And of the Pokemon that make you click overheat, which is just Altaria, Grimmsnarl, and that's it. Uh, it's the most expendable.
Yep.
Because the only thing I had to hit Moltres hard was Nidoqueen, which was bulky Nidoqueen. It wasn't even.
Oh, yep. Yeah, I was calcing that right away. I was just, if you're a timid life orb, you O-code Volcanion. And
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
thought I
well,
thought you might switch out
if you
there. Like,
if you're timid life orb, I'm dead anyways. So then I
yeah,
get a free switch in.
yeah, I thought you might switch out there. That's well, like, otherwise, I mean, I probably would have switched, but because I had Water Absorb, Seismitoad right there. But
Yep.
that's cool. You had. I'm glad I didn't because you have powered Solar Beam, which would have been.
Yeah, I had the tech.
I definitely wouldn't have seen that coming, and you just would have deleted it in a heartbeat.
I
So,
think you outspeed me though. If you have any speed, did you have any speed? No speed.
no,
Okay, then
zero
I would
speed.
outsped you.
No, it was all this Seismitoad was meant for Dracovish. That's what this Seismitoad was made for. Um,
So I think I faced all the water absorbers now. So now Dracovish can free reign for the rest of the
you've
season.
already played all the water absorbers, and Dracovish has already gotten.
Yep.
Dracovish is
He's a
scary.
mon. He's a mon.
Like that's why, like whenever I was doing the draft, I was like, I've got to get one of these water grounds. I have to get one. And then like the backup for that was Clodsire.
Hot tire, yep.
But
Okay.
I really wanted Nidoqueen though. So, but yeah, Focus Sash. I was bummed I didn't have a chance to get rocks up because rocks go really hard against your team, but I didn't really see an opportunity to get them up, unfortunately. With
No, I figured if you're gonna go that, I figured you might think I'd switch out of that first turn and then you'd go for rocks. Where I was just like, well, I'll just steam eruption, and if I die, I die. I can bring in something else to set
yeah,
up, and
because the whole reason I went ahead and went for Earth Power there was like one, even if you did switch out to Moltres, for example, which like predicting Earth Power, you could easily just go to Moltres. Nidoqueen's the only thing I had to hit that thing for super effective anyway, and I was already in. So, and I was bulky, so I didn't really see how much you really did to me. I didn't think you'd really be able to do too much to me, so I figured I was like, well, if he goes out into Moltres, I can just go ahead and click Thunderbolt, or I can go ahead and click Stealth Rocks. Well, I mean, if I
yep.
had Stealth Rocks up already, and I could go ahead and get Stealth Rocks up or whatever, so I figured Earth Power there was probably the safest play, but I didn't. I knew if you stayed in, unless I got a crit, I knew I didn't kill. I knew unless I got a crit, you were just kill me with Steam Eruption. Likely, if you were staying in, that was probably the move you were clicking.
Yeah, it's kind of no drawback, especially like I said, or like you said, with the power. If he goes to Seismitoad, then
Yeah, you just delete me next turn.
cook you after the next turn. So,
So yeah. Anything that I brought that surprised you at all?
just not really. I didn't expect the Dosh bun. I knew it was good in Chiyu, but after I got that nasty plot up, it
Yeah.
pretty much didn't make a difference. Um, outside of that, no, I kind of expected all. No Val kind of surprised me. I mean, I know I got fires types, but it's still a pretty good
Oh yeah. I mean,
Moonblast. I mean, you can see in my team, I brought 3 dragons into
yeah. I mean,
fairy type.
well, you were the type matchup was one of your types was weak to each
Yeah,
each of your types
either
was
one.
weak to my types.
Yep.
So I mean, kind of you were kind of in a position to bring about a more balanced team with your types, whereas with me it was like I pretty much just I mean I guess I could have brought either or, but I don't know I brought 4 fairies, but I don't know.
Yeah, but no, overall, about what I expected. I didn't know if I expect the Needle Queen with the Dracovish, but you had to bring at least a couple ground types if I had, I had fire. So
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I mean Nidoqueen. I feel like Nidoqueen is just really good in general. And
it is.
I wanted to
Yep.
find a way to get rocks up, and like when I was looking at my potential rockers, I have a fuck ton of them because my half my team's ground.
Yep.
I didn't want to bring Piloswine because it's weak to fire, even though it's got thick fat. But Piloswine just and it just kind of lets Mons set up on it. Like and like Dracovish can just kind of come in on it because I'm not threatening it at all.
Yep.
And you just get a click Vicious Rend. And yeah, that thing's a demon. So that thing makes it so you have to prep around it so much, and then so I just figured as far as the rockers go, I looked at Iron Treads briefly, but I didn't think it looked good this week.
Yeah, no, it definitely didn't look good. Most of my stuff outsped it, and then the stuff I didn't, I had like the focus sash would have killed it, and
Yeah.
all you can do it on Moltres is Volt Switch and max speed F, so that's not going to do anything
I get
unless it does get
Rock
Stone
Slide. It
Edge.
gets Rock Slide.
Does it get Rock Slide? Oh, it does. Okay,
Yeah, it gets Rock Slide.
but either way, not like I'm going to switch. I had a couple answers to Iron Tread.
Yeah. I just thought Iron Treads looked bad. I could just, as far as like stealth rockers go, I was just like Nido Queen just looked like the best option to me. I felt like.
Yep.
Like I was
Yep.
kind of
No,
thinking.
it was good.
One thing I did would have liked with Piloswine would have been the Ice Shard, just priority to potentially have to, if I would have gotten in a position where Roaring Moon was set up and I needed to come in and get like 15% on it real quick, just come in and Ice Shard it real quick, but didn't end up. Like I said, I didn't end up mattering because thankfully Seismitoad behind screens could deal with that monster. I hate that Pokemon. That thing's so good.
I did calc that end too, is even if I clicked Ice Fang, it still didn't kill. I had a max roll like 69 and you're at 70.
Yeah, I was really concerned. I was like, because I didn't know if you'd have an attack, what attacking moves you'd have on Moltres. I wasn't sure if you'd have clicked one that turn because I almost clicked Roost the turn on Altaria the turn I switched out into Togekiss.
Okay. Yeah. No. All I have. This is just air slide. This was gonna be my get a toxic down on Altaria and then a Iron Val counter.
Yeah, and then so but I figured at that point the toxic had already racked up so much that going for a Roost wouldn't have really done too much. I figured I'd save the sack. But yeah, I think that's all I've got for you. You got anything else?
No, that's all. It was a good battle.
Yeah, close game. So
close game.
Potential playoff rematch coming. We're both looking in position for that. Looks like so.
Yeah, all we got to do is make the playoffs, then you can bring out the heat.
Good to get a little bounce back win. God, I get fucking rolled last time. But all right, that's gonna do it for us today. If you made it this far, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff for more PWO draft content, and we will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.